game, hit the terminal.
Get all tasted up. Yeah, $60. Boom.
Yeah, go on there.
Transactions.
And microtransactions. You can buy card packs now.
What's the pack information look like? Pretty good.
What if they totally
What's a Phantom Dust?
You know what a good card battler is?
What, Jared?
Metal Gear Acid 2.
Yes.
What's that? Bring that back, I think.
Yeah. You get
Or just make Acid 3.
I would be totally in favor of either of those outcomes. I want Acid 2 on my Vita, and I bring up Acid all the time. It's a great game.
I want Acid 3 on my iPhone.
I want Acid.
Creator of the Parappa the Rapper and Guitaru Man are getting together to make a new rhythm game.
Because why not?
I think that is a grand idea.
Yeah, seriously, there's no reason why not.
I would love for those people to take what has happened in the last 20 years with rhythm games and make a new game that plays like a modern rhythm game that has their unique sensibilities.
So it's called Project Rap Rabbit.
Okay.
It's about rap battling.
Okay.
Full disclosure, there's a Kickstarter. Don't go fund this just because we're talking about it.
Does it use machine learning to determine whether you're rapping effectively or not?
No, yeah, if you rap in pool.
Yeah.
With algorithms.
That would be amazing.
The pitch is that basically Parappa was not enough of a rap game, and they're going harder in that direction.
Okay.
All right. There aren't enough rap games anymore.
Here.
Rap games.
Let's see.
That rap game, that game, the karaoke rap game from a few years ago, that was a pretty good game.
Def Jam?
Def Jam.
Into it, yeah.
Battle System. Rather than simply tapping along with songs and scores for their accuracy, players will use an emotion-based dialogue wheel and keywords to counter their enemy's lyrical assaults.
Firewatch is for Rappa.
Good. First, the player listens to their opponent's rap, during which specific keywords will be highlighted. Then the player chooses which of those keywords to run with and which type of lyrics to bust back at their opponent, boast, laugh, joke, or coerce. Finally, their
Every time.
Finally, their rap plays out, and they tap along with it for maximum impact.
That sounds awesome.
That's
Sounds
because you're like mentally thinking of what you're going to say to the other guy, and then you also literally do it.
Just
Just like
emotions.
And you have to give the flow. You have to have flow.
Yeah.
That sounds okay.
It sounds
That sounds like a really good way to visualize a rap battle in a video game
It's
context.
just like 8 Mile, but in a video game.
There's have your arms feed or your knees or spaghetti that came from your mom. She made the spaghetti because the knees are weak like noodles that have been cooked.
Okay. Yes.
Then it gets on your sweater.
They're not al dente. They're
They don't have.
fuente.
Is that it?
I don't know. I was
Rhyme something with al dente.
al fuente.
El Fuerte.
I don't know.
Al dente. Al bun.
It doesn't have to have Al. Al Bundy?
Al bunde. I don't know. Yeah.
Somebody can get away with that one.
Roll
I'm
it.
not sure.
I can't get away with that one.
Yeah. That sounds awesome. Like, who would have thought that? I mean, whatever. They just put out that HD Parappa remaster.
Oh, yeah.
So.
These things don't happen by accident.
Yeah, but that's pretty pleasantly surprising news.
You think we're heading into a lull of E3 leaks, or is it going to ramp up till E3 happens? Because a lot of the E3 judges be kind of, it's all NDA'd up and all that
Yeah,
about it.
and also they don't show the big stuff at judges. Like, people every year I see people saying like, "Oh, he's going down there to see everything at E3," and like, no, not remotely. Like,
a lot of people don't even, like, this is for the E3 awards, right?
Yeah.
Which are kind of the most, not to say it, but they don't mean much outside of like a marketing box quote at the end of the day.
Well, the big thing about the awards is that any game that's eligible has to be playable. You have to be able to get your hands on it as a judge and say that you played it. And a lot of the biggest stuff at E3 is announced doesn't even exist in a playable form. Right? So, like,
Well, or it's like a demo that the loop is really tight, right? Tightly scripted. You have to like ride that loop really closely.
the awards focus on games that are like relatively close to being honest, which is like big press conference stage stuff is not stuff that,
which is kind of stuff we'd already know about. But
Well,
or guess about it.
I hope they talk more about Mario.
Typically, the judges, the stuff they play at Judges Week is stuff that you know about and that you maybe haven't had a chance to play yet, or haven't had a chance to play.
Yeah, so it'll be
in any kind of
stuff
meaningful
that's announced, even like recently announced, like the new Shadow of Mordor or Border War stuff like that. Like, that's just
WW2, a little bit of that game.
Far Cry, who knows?
Yeah, typically like it's stuff. I don't know. Like everybody seems to be getting out in front of it already. Like, Ubisoft just dropped all these games today. Like there's a live stream is in 2 days.
Yeah,
like a lot of the big E3 stuff is sort of officially coming out already.
Anticipation rising.
Yeah.
That's like I got my flights. I'm looking forward to going to the show floor and seeing a bunch of like random people who paid $500 to get in.
Ooh,
It's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot.
For the,
Sold out now, isn't it?
Well,
I think so.
Yeah.
that's gonna be fun. I paid $300 and I gotta wait in line for 2 hours for a game that's coming out in 2 months anyways.
Yeah, I'm really curious how they handle the public aspect of that stuff.
But they're doing stage talks and stuff too.
Yeah, I think. There will be other things coming.
My goal is to get into 3 different reaction highlight reels. I'm just going to bring my best, like,
To practice.
yeah, to any game, not necessarily stuff I'm excited about,
What was
but
the show last year that had that lady just kept on saying, "Woo!" Was that Ubisoft or something?
That sounds like Ubisoft.
I think the part is really good.
Yeah, it's good.
And
It's kind of Arsenio Hall wrist action around there.
since you're very tall, yeah, you can totally get the local news people to come at you because they'll be like, "Look, this guy is very tall."
It's especially good if I like elbow somebody kind of.
Yeah.
They look really annoyed at me.
What are they gonna do?
Yeah.
Step to you though.
Turn your press badge
I'm just
around.
really excited about Wonderful 102.
FIFA 2019.
We got Pele back, but this time
It's personal.
personal.
What else? What other bad news do you have?
A couple other quick news hits here real fast. You can't play Alan Wake anymore.
Yeah, music licenses. It's all
Yeah,
gone.
music license is expired, so they took it down.
But you can buy the expansion. Or the whatever
Still
the
buy the
DLC.
DLC?
Yeah, apparently. Was it American Revolution or something? What's it called?
Oh no,
that's a standalone.
American Nightmare is a standalone.
Yeah, you can buy that.
There's also DLC for Alan Wake. I'm sure you could probably also.
Hot take. I like American Nightmare more than that. There's more fighting stuff. I didn't particularly care for the story. I hate the fight taken out.
Barry?
Yeah.
Oh, Barry was great.
Barry's
Barry's
weird
weird.
Christmas.
Yeah, he wrapped himself up in Christmas lights.
So annoying. I said that one time that I like American Nightmare Before Lake, and somebody got on Twitter and was really mad. It was like, you're the reason games suck now. Ow.
Yeah, that was me.
Because it was more action oriented, just shooting more stuff.
Yeah, I guess so. It felt kind of low budget. Like,
Sure,
they reused the same environment over and over. Like, you kind of tell where they cut corners on it.
But it's true.
That concert scene in Alan Wake where you're up on the stage and like trying to get the generators
Yeah.
going, that's so good.
Man, I remember that from Left 4 Dead 2. Alan Wake is good.
But you can't buy it
Too
anymore.
bad you can't buy it anymore.
They sold it for like 90%
Yeah,
off
they
too.
put it on some insane deep set. What was it?
It
Like
was
$90
really cheap. Like that is a cool way to handle that
Yeah,
if you're those guys.
Totally. Like, hey, there's days left on this music license. Like, you're practically giving it away if you haven't played it. Get it now.
Go to your
is
local
there-
GameStop, try and find it.
Was there a disc version of that?
Yeah.
Okay, so you'll still be able to presumably go out and get the game of the
yeah,
year or whatever
Yeah.
with all the
They just
business.
stopped printing.
They were talking about Alan Wake movie for a while. I don't think
I have to imagine that died at this point.
I mean, Alan Wake American Nightmare though. Make a movie out of that.
Yes,
They still can.
there
Still
you go.
still available for
They say they're looking into relicensing music, but no promises. Like, there's some possibility that Alan Wake will.
I think just take out
They
everything.
specifically mentioned what song it was, because I remember it was based on the last credits.
Yeah, there's that. Like, I think there's
Every chapter had a song.
Was the music really integral? Or not really?
Play during this chapter ends.
I believe the licensed music played over the
Yeah,
games,
so
and
like,
that was it.
because the game's basically broken up into like actual like TV episodes,
Yeah.
so you get credits every so often, and I think it only played over those credits. Yeah, they could
They
always
could just go to Jiggle Punks, jam that stuff out.
they could
put some
totally
new-
replace the music if they really
Okay.
want to. We'll see.
Space Froggity. It's a space
Ground
Froggity.
control. I think it's Johnny Tom.
Yep, there you go. Good stuff. Wall Street Journal is reporting that a Zelda app is on the way.
Why would they not make a Zelda app?
Yeah.
Where's
Yeah,
the
what is-
Where's the
that's
Animal Crossing app? That's what I want to know.
The same story. They say that the Animal Crossing thing will be out in the second half of this year, which obviously because we're almost in the second half.
Yeah.
What do you think that app is? Is it a
don't know.
Korok Seed Finder? Is it a?
Oh no!
Is it
This
a
is like
cooking mini
This is a
game?
This is not like a thing
With
for
all the
Switch Zelda.
the
This is-
It's gonna be like Super Mario Run.
I don't know. Yeah,
I would play Cooking Zelda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I bet it's
I
like
was,
an
all
endless
excited
runner.
I was all excited for Nintendo phone games, and then like the last couple have just been sort of like
I like Super Mario.
played
I know
a
you guys
lot
don't
of
like
Super
Super Mario
Mario
Run, but I put a lot of time into that game. The game's okay.
I got 999 toads.
That's too many toads.
that's a lot of. Did you lick them?
That's what you get when you unlock this.
You guys reminded me of uninstall that.
Get rid of it. And that Fire Emblem didn't do much for me.
No, I would love 2 in 1 JRPG. Not enough Fire Emblem.
Bye bye.
Nice.
I'd like to see like a kind of point and click kind of turn tactical Zelda combat thing. That's kind of
tactical
fun.
Zelda.
They said they prototyped Breath of the Wild in 2D.
Yeah.
And somebody kind of rebuilt that, I think,
Yeah.
with some other engine.
Yeah, I
I
saw
think they
that.
probably do a 2D Zelda or something.
I mean, look, what I want is Zelda Maker.
Yeah.
The Zelda Maker would be like make your own Zelda 1 game. That would be dope. Do a little voice acting.
Listen. What?
That's not you. Base.
Lastly, thank you for coming on, Steve.
You did have good news.
Best for last.
Pretty good. I'm not Platinum's best game.
Sounds like it's got. Sounds like it's got the same bells and whistles as Bayonetta. This is straight off the Steam page. It says fully unlocked frame rate and gorgeous HD resolutions up to 4K.
Hell yeah.
What are you doing?
Vanquish is a third-person shooter. He's like Vanquish is basically Gears of War filtered through Platinum games since the.
It's all about like covering it.
So
slide.
so like
slide around on
you've got like rockets in your knees or something, and you like skid around on the knees.
Is it a big thing when it came out? Not really.
Kind of like a sleeper hit. When did it come out?
Is it dedicated?
basement, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were at the first year office.
movies.
2010, 2011.
If you're behind cover, you have a dedicated button to press to smoke a cigarette. And the reason you do that is because the robot's going to attract it to the cherry, and then you can like throw it over there and slide.
I didn't know that.
Dedicated cigarette button.
Vanquish is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Smoking's bad. And it's
The bad guy is
gonna be-
basically Vladimir Putin in a mech suit.
How much does it cost?
I think it's 20.
I think it's 20 if you own Bayonetta.
yes.
PC, I think you get like $5.
Yes, it's 20 and 15.
It's pretty exciting because I put that on 360 and I remember being real framey, especially at the end.
yeah.
So yeah.
And
If they
it's
clean
not,
this up and it's running fucking smooth, man, it's
Yeah.
gonna be a looker.
Yes.
I can't.
also, it never came backwards compatible.
Oh, really?
So yeah, this is like the only way to play like a good smooth version.
Was it on 360 or no? Or no PS3? No.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
I tried doing I forget the name of the difficulty, but the hardest difficulty on there. It's like a more about collecting weapon upgrades and stuff. But in that hardest difficulty, if you die, you lose all your weapon upgrades.
Wow.
Basically.
That's intense.
It was tough. I think I got about halfway through and put it down for something else, but I like that game quite a lot.
I played that as a cover shooter at first, and then I talked to somebody at work, and they were like, "No, you need to slide." And I was like, "Oh, okay, this is a much better game. I totally get it."
Once you start moving around, it really feels great.
Fucking great.
Yep. All right, that's it for news. There's a lot of news this week.
Big
So,
news.
Yeah. Let's get into some emails before we get out of here. Podcast@giantbomb.com. That's the address.
Don't say the word email. I hate it.
What? Email?
My last 3 weeks have been nothing but emails.
Yes, shutter.
Again, support at giantbomb.com.
Our first question is, Rory, where's my refund?
Just say, don't use your refund. Don't use your store code.
Email me.
Email
I'll hook you up.
support@giantbomb.com.
Do it. I'm a little behind right now because I support sale price on that. All right, be patient with it.
Blake writes in with what he calls new evidence of the knife versus bat debate. When it comes to knife versus bat, I have always been a bat guy. I figured the increased range would be the deciding factor. If you could get one hit to the head with a bat, you win. However, a friend of mine recently told me about how a family friend of his was brutally assaulted with a bat and lived. The man was unarmed and caught by surprise by his attacker. He took a full-on blow to the head and another full swing to the arm, but he was eventually able to wrestle the bat from the attacker. Before he could get a swing on the bad guy, he briefly lost consciousness due to the head trauma, and when he came to, the assailant had retrieved the bat. He was struck a second time in the head before he could wrestle with the attacker and screamed till a neighbor showed up and the bad guy got spooked and ran.
This isn't a fun story.
No, not special.
No.
No, but it's
I
important.
think you just ended the knife versus bat.
I think that's the point of this email.
Nobody wins.
Well, we're not done yet.
Oh God.
He suffered a fractured skull and the bones in his arm were basically shattered, but he is totally stable and responsive and expected to make a full recovery.
Well, okay, that's good.
So,
Yeah, there's that story of Tim Heidecker getting stabbed by like
who stabbed him?
What?
in college. He got stabbed by like a guy on Steve who was his neighbor or something. He got stabbed like 2 or 3 times and didn't realize he was stabbed until he got home.
Yeah, there's that story from 2 years ago that Sean Bean got stabbed outside of a bar, and he just went back into the bar and ordered another drink.
Well,
Because he's fucking Sean Bean.
So I used to hang out with bartenders when I was in college, and one of the regulars at the bar was a old crusty guy who'd seen some shit, and there were a bunch of doofy college kids talking about whether it'd be worse to be shot or stabbed, and the guy at the end of the bar basically was like, look, stabbing is much worse. The shooting you don't feel, and went through the whole thing. They're like, what? How do you know this? And of course he'd been both shot and stabbed.
Man. All right, still a clear winner then.
Nobody wins.
Yeah.
The only way to win is not to play at all.
The only way to win is bring your gun.
That's kind of depressing.
Knife versus bat versus gun.
Try not to get into a situation with bats and
Yeah,
knives.
don't get into a bat or knife fight. That's good advice.
How about that?
Live your life one quarter bat at a time.
Yes.
Like those little mini bats you get it when you go to a
yeah.
baseball game. Yeah, those are cute.
It's a bottle opener too.
Yes. Indeed.
You have any more uplifting emails you got? Sure. Some sort of cancer kids or anything like that? What do you got for us? Hit us with something
Someone
good.
comes in from Brian in Cincinnati. I lost both my parents today, and I was looking for a video game recommendation.
Just had my foot amputated, so I can't go anywhere right now.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Here's an email from Henry about Battlegrounds.
Okay.
Absolutely love your Murder Island content. Please do more. My question is, do you think the game would benefit from having a small setup or storyline?
No.
Even if it were a one-time cutscene that boot up something like you're all death row inmates thrown onto an island fighting for your freedom and criminal record deletion. Like Vincent Diesel in that car movie.
I like that story, but I
It's
don't
not
think it
bad.
needs it.
Yeah, I kind of like that. It's
You
just like
can
fucking. Why are
you
you
create your own story?
I think it needs to be more like you're just a bunch of 100 normal ass people who like enter some contest and think they're going to go be on American Idol, and then it turns out they're on American Death Idol.
You're on like
Murder Island.
what's a competition show where all those like jack people would be going?
Oh, like American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, they're all in a place. American
yeah,
Warrior.
Yeah.
Who wants to be America's next gladiator? And it's like an American gladiator. Yeah, there's a lot of.
I really like the game doesn't really bother me by itself.
No.
Like fucking. Why are other people here? Why are there all these guns? Who left all these guns in these houses?
Why is nobody wearing
care?
pants?
Like fucking
Yeah.
who cares? It's really good. It's absurd in that way. Which is a good time.
There should be one audio log on the map spawned every time, and your chance of finding it is virtually nothing because it's tiny. And when you find it, you get the first part of the story, and there's 10 parts.
Crowdsource piece together what happened in the game.
WoW had something like that. We had to find 10 letters in a row to spawn a gold boss, but we had to do it fucking all of them. That's my last right there.
Wow, I've been
I've been a couple weeks at the time.
It's impressive, right? Matt from Connecticut. Do you think there's any value in game reviewer doing follow-up reviews for games after the fact? In other words, should we get updated reviews after a game has been out for a while and have a chance to push out some updates, fix some bugs, and generally let it settle?
We've got time.
A recent example of this is IGN's review of the PC version of Prey, which they gave a 4 out of 10. Yeah.
But they couldn't finish it. But the weird thing there is they could not finish the game still playing. Like, literally could not complete it.
Yeah.
So
You were arguing the opposite of what I saw most people arguing. What? Like most people I saw thought that score was too low. You were arguing that it's too high.
Beat a game.
Yeah, it's a pretty critical flaw.
Arguing about review scores is 1998 to me. I don't really do that much,
yeah,
but it's a weird thing to say. But to more to the point, is that the whole thing?
No, there's a little bit more. I was curious because you're here, Will, and you run a magazine, and so you have thoughts about review scores for sure. He said, over the last several years, we've seen a large shift in the video game industry where games are pushed out the door in a non-final state, which varies in severity, and fixed later through day one patches, followed by a series of updates, which seek to further optimize the title and address other issues players are seeing.
So,
Don't reward them for that.
Yeah, like fully review. I think that's just giving them a pass for putting out a non-final title.
but then you look at a game like WoW that evolves every time from the launch to the extension, or Dota.
Those are positive additions to an already solid foundation.
Okay,
that's different than filling in gaps on a thing that's not taken.
So on this specific example of Prey, it's an interesting. I'm going to point at the table because that's what I do when I talk. There's an interesting, like, it wasn't like he had a progression bug where he missed a key or threw something off the side of the world and he needed to unlock a door, and it was the only object he couldn't move on and roll back to a previous save.
Yeah.
The bug was actually that his saves got progressively more corrupted the longer he played, which seems like a really severe underlying fault.
On top of that, like, it was a relatively widespread issue. Like, you could go online and you didn't have to look far to find it.
There was
People
lots
having
of
the
people.
same problem.
There was a dude you had to talk to. You couldn't talk to, right? Was that the thing?
No. This like
There's another one I know where there's a dude you had to talk to, a quest guy, and once you completed the quest, you went back to talk to him. He was not.
Oh, I didn't heard about that one.
that's a progression bug to me. That seems like something that should be easy to patch.
On top of that, like,
Sure,
if you read what he wrote in the review, like, when he had that save corruption bug, he made a good faith effort to finish the game by talking to the developer, and they sent him a save, and then that save ended up becoming
the same problem.
Like, at a certain point, when you have this problem over and over, like, you kind of run out of chances.
So like my feeling on reviews has always been, this is why we didn't do scores on tested. Like, we didn't put numbers at the end of reviews on tested because we wanted people to do reviews. It was all the nuance that comes with the content that Dan had in the review. When you just look at the floor, it's like, there's a bug that maybe not even the game can watch the score, and all that stuff goes away. I've always been a big believer you probably don't have to finish bad games to know that they're bad. Like, you know, if you played 3 hours of a game and it's fucking terrible, and you're like, nobody should suffer through this 3 hours to get to the greatest game of all time in the last 5 minutes. That's fine. That's
Wolfhall's Law.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Time to create.
Time to create's a whole. That's a
different standard.
The all-time best metric for video games in history. I mean, it makes Heretic 2 the worst game of all time, even though it is one of my all-time favorites. But I wouldn't have probably put a score on. Like, not to second guess Dan's a friend. I don't want to back Monday morning quarterback him. I would have not scored. I would have put this out that here's why we're not doing a review of this game, and then probably just never reviewed.
I think that's a fair approach.
That's valid.
GameStop has like review in progress stuff. Like they have their review blog or something.
Yeah.
I think that's been kind of a decent way to do it. But you can't. No, there's no reason to. In terms going back to the question. In general speaking, updating reviews after they've been published. That I feel is if it's an official review and you're changing something that big, especially for a big site like multiple sites. It feels like you're rewarding people for putting out stuff. At
Yeah,
the
I
No,
tend to
but
agree.
I think that there is a certain value to it for games that are already good and then continue to do good free post
I
game
think
release.
additional coverage is absolutely warranted. But going back and rescoring a thing, I feel
or
like
even
is-
rewriting the review.
Yeah.
Like nobody's gonna read that. Nobody's gonna ever see it because it's not gonna pop up at the
Reviews,
top of your
like,
list.
reviews are relevant at the time of game's release.
Yeah.
There are cases where that is applicable, and it happened back in GameSpot days. I know a couple times.